Good evening, and welcome to Scary Stories by the Campfire. We are your counselors tonight, Jeremy
And Jason.
and Jason. I don't know if you see my camera now, but I have work for you.
Actually, your camera is not up.
Oh, but it is.
Well, then why can I not see it?
That is a question I don't have an answer for, but you should definitely look at it.
Okay, well, then that means I have to get on the Twitch, Jeremy. Jeez.
But you don't have your Discord pulled up.
Which I should have been on already.
But
Yeah,
that's...
I don't see anything on you, Jeremy.
Oh, but you really should.
Yeah, I should, but I don't because I don't. No. Today, since we're running off on a tangent on this, we are talking about. Ow, that hurt. Resident Evil. The was it the
Final chapter.
The final chapter.
Can you see it yet, Jason?
Oh my goodness. How do we? Yeah, see your camera's not coming up on the Twitch for some reason, or the Discord for some reason.
I
But
don't know.
I could see you on the.
Just so everybody knows, we did not plan this at all.
No, actually, it's kind of funny because I've been actually wanting to do like the Wesker thing for a little while, and ever since he kind of like popped up on screen, I was like, man, it would be really nice just to kind of do a Wesker thing. I mean, I don't have the I don't have like the exact glasses that he did or whatnot.
Neither
or
do
even
I.
the black shirt. I'm just wearing, my plaid shirt that I feel comfortable in. But yes, so that's actually kind of funny that we both did like the exact same thing.
And like I said, it wasn't planned by any stretch of the imagination. I literally called Jason earlier and was like, Jason, I got a bit that I'm going to do, and I'm excited for it. And I turned on the Discord, and I see Jason just staring into his camera with glasses on. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have like Leon hair or something. And look, I even did mine up like 5 minutes before we started. I'm in the bathroom like combing my hair back.
Oh, that's what I just did.
Right.
I just like dunked my head in some water and was like, just slick it all back.
Slick it back.
Slick it back, throw some sunglasses on, and call it a day. Okay. Resident
So
Evil,
we
the
are-
final chapter.
Okay, so we are running
Oh, man.
a two-parter here. Talk about Resident Evil, the final chapter. I think I lagged out.
You did.
Did I? Great.
But it's all good. You're back.
Okay. So the first half, we're talking about Resident Evil, the final chapter, and then the second half we'll be talking about Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Oh,
Y'all thought the
Resident Evil.
T-virus got me? No, it didn't.
Okay, so let's start. Resident Evil, the final chapter. It was awful. Okay, now on to Raccoon City.
Awesome. Yeah. Final chapter, terrible. Honestly, Jason completely forgot we were even talking about it today. It was very boring. I don't even remember the cast. The only good thing I remember is a girl got sucked into a fan.
Yeah, that was actually Ruby Rose's character. Ruby Rose, she played like Batwoman in like the first season of Batwoman. She was also in the Meg.
Yep,
So,
and she got her
got-
big thing in Orange is the New Black. But terrible movie. But we're gonna skip ahead to
well, okay, hold on. We got to go through it. That's what we do. We got to go through it. We got to mosh through this real quick. So let's
All
try and
right.
make this as painless as possible. I know it's what the background changed. Okay, so this movie is a conclusion to all the other movies, even though, quite frankly, you don't have to watch any of them. And the really bad thing about this whole entire thing is it's bad from go. At the end of the last movie, you have Alice, you have Wesker, you have Leon, you have Ada, you have Jill. They're all formed up on top of the White House in their last stand against everything that is Umbrella, right? All the monsters and everything like that. And that's how the movie ends. The camera zooms out. You get like this huge epic. I think I called it like a mobile game
Yeah.
trailer. Just bodies being thrown at a wall. And that's how the movie ends. So you're like, now you get into this one, and she pulls herself out of the rubble. That's literally how the movie starts. She pulls herself out of the rubble, and apparently,
The big battle's done.
according to some of the um, dialogue later on in the movie, is that Wesker betrayed them. Well, so what does that mean? We have a dead Ada, a dead Leon, and a dead Jill just off screen somewhere, just gone.
Yeah. They're in the rebel somewhere.
And the only mention of Chris Redfield, because ironically he was missing from the last movie after the boat got blown up, was that um, Claire said something about him being taken away. Umbrella captured him. That was
Yeah.
it. That was it.
Yeah.
And since this being, and they literally put this as we're not joking when we say that the movie is called Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. That means there's nothing after this. So there's just a bunch of plot points that are going nowhere. You ain't gonna get no.
Yeah. And
You ain't gonna get any solidity to it.
like we get Dr. Isaacs back where he's running around on his thing, but it turns out he's got a clone floating out there, which is the one that's going to Raccoon City where Claire and them have this final stand of people.
Then the game turns from one of those big epic scale mobile games to a tower defense game. You gotta kill the enemies before they get there. Um, this movie was it for a good portion of it when they're like in the armored vehicle and they threw her out the back as she's having to run with the zombies or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It felt very Walking Deadish to me. I don't know what it was. There just seemed like there was like a lot
No.
of. No, I don't mean in like the sense of how bad it was per se. I'm just like looking at the environment and stuff. It's just very,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, I don't know. There's just something about it that just reminded me of like The Walking Dead, and just like how crazy the bad guys are. This group of crazy with preacher Isaac telling his flock that, oh, shun the unbeliever and throw out the back and have her run, definitely sounds like something some crazy guy in The Walking Dead would do.
That's accurate. But we get to see who the Red Queen is modeled after. We find out that Alice is actually a clone this entire time. What?
Shocking.
My name is
I guess
Alice, and I work for Umbrella.
I guess at this point in time, you would think that. I guess when the movie came out, you'd go, "Oh no, she's a clone." Oh, but in reality, it was not really a shocker because you get to see these clones all the time. There's hundreds of them.
I know in one
At
movie you
one
literally
point.
see a ditch full of like hundreds.
Yeah, so why is it hard to believe that she's a clone?
And then what's even worse is they go back to the hive from the first movie, and like it's not the same hive. Like it's not built the same. Like you're doing a callback to the first movie. Like the very first movie, and you can't even make it look the same. The only thing they got the same was the stupid laser hallway.
That laser hallway has been in every single. I think it's been in the first one. Skip the second one. Was in the third one. It was I definitely in this one. I think it could have been the last one. I don't know.
It,
It was
it
just.
it's a mess. But this movie
I
was
think
a
it was.
mess.
What
And
was that
it's
like? Based off of like the one scene in like Resident Evil 4.
I think so. No, I don't think it was in 4. It might have
I
been.
thought they. Yeah, because Chris ain't gonna be jumping like that. And there's
Well,
like in.
even though we lost Chris in this movie, Jason, we gain a new Chris in Welcome to Raccoon City, which oddly
Oh yeah.
enough is better than this because I can't keep going with this. There ain't nothing else to talk about. The movie's bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember any of these characters except for Claire and Alice. That's because we've watched them for 4 movies, and I remember Ruby because she went into a fan.
Doc was the betrayer. Um, they had that mean guy. He got eaten. I think his name was Christian. I don't know. You had I don't remember the rest of them.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
but
Oh, hold on. We gotta talk about the best of them all, Wesker. What happened to him?
he got his leg chopped off by a door.
Yeah, he was like the big bad, and he got beat by a door.
Yeah, because she said you're no longer an employee, and the system shut the door and hit him, chopped his leg off.
Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, didn't he survive like a helicopter explosion?
Mm-hmm. He couldn't just use that super speed of his to kind of take a step to the right.
Or regrow a limb or something? Man blew up in a helicopter. You would think. Yeah, it's just too many plot points. All right, moving on.
Moving on to the reboot.
I wouldn't call it a reboot.
Welcome to Raccoon City.
I'd call it more of a reimagining.
With and this one is not great. It's not the greatest. It's not. But more zombies,
But, mm-hmm,
better story,
mm-hmm.
just all around better than the Alice movies that we've watched and been subjected to. Just saying.
Okay.
At least
I
they
thought
got.
this one was all right. Huh?
I liked so. I liked the fact that they used a lot of stuff from the games, but they didn't. I completely do exactly what the games did.
Well, yeah. I mean, they essentially this movie was a combination of the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
You had the stars subplot, and then you had the police station subplot. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I
You cut out, as if you were thinking.
oh god, am I sneezing? I'm watching the playback. So I'm gonna be honest. I like Resident Evil. I like the game series. I like the world building in it and stuff. But I haven't really played one to save my life, and I barely know how the characters actually act or function or who's it or whatnot. Since I got like kind of like a broad strokes, like Chris is like the, main guy from the first game, and as the game or as the stories progress, he becomes this kind of like more tough, kind of almost like a jock kind of guy, right? Big tough. Leon goes from like rookie cop to like secret agent. Ooh, he's bad and does like the kick flips and crazy stuff. Jill, I know, was pretty tough throughout her series, especially when she got like Resident Evil 3. But then she gets what, possessed, like in the last set of movies.
Yeah.
Um, Claire, Claire's literally like a blank slate for me. I don't really know. I know she's always looking for her brother. It's about all I know. Every time she pops up in the game, it's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm looking for my brother." Get lost again? Jeez, maybe you should put a bell on him and prevent him from losing him so often. But in this movie, I can honestly say that I did kind of like how Jill or not well, okay, let's take it back. The main characters in this movie was, as you can see on the screen, is Leon, Claire, Chris, Jill, Wesker, um, and a couple other small characters. And I guess Umbrella. This is what I don't like about these Resident Evil stuff. Okay, this is what I absolutely don't like about these Resident Evil things. They make Umbrella seem like they're this god corporation.
In the games, they are.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, in the games, they're shown as a pharmaceutical company that has its hands in everything. You know, it's like like Stark International. You know, they're always pumping out stuff. You know, they got their hands in technology, they got their hands in food and medicine and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that, but in this, especially in like the last series where they made them like, oh, we're gonna take over the world and we're gonna just get clean. We're gonna reset button because we have that power. In this movie, they own Raccoon City. Apparently, they have like everyone under their employ or whatever, and they just go, oh, we're just gonna pack up and move everything.
That actually, though, in a small town like that, would actually be feasible, would possibly could happen. You have a big corporation that comes in and they set up their HQ in your town, in which case they employ most of the town, if not all, like 75% of it. And if they decide to pack up shop, that's what happens to those kinds of towns. Like it happens all the time, especially in rural small town America. That's what you have, those towns that just end up going nowhere because whatever was driving the town for money wise is gone. You saw it a lot back in the day, like when miners, when the mines would shut down or something like that. My Bloody Valentine, they talk about it. The mine is what made the city. And when he wanted to shut the mine down, it basically put 60% of the population out of work. It's the same concept as this. So Umbrella moves in to this small town. They set up their HQ there. They give everybody jobs, and now that they're moving out, all that goes away. Nobody can pay for anything anymore because they don't have work. They can't work anywhere because there are no jobs anymore. And then you either move out of Raccoon City or you're too poor to. So in that
Makes sense.
In that sense, I get where they're coming from with the whole God company for Raccoon City. In a small town, it works, but if you put it in a larger scale city, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like you were saying, they got their hands in everything, and apparently Raccoon or Umbrella has been poisoning the water supply.
Were they doing that on purpose or was it accidental?
They never really say, but
Thought they had.
they
No, had they do been in the blah, 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 blah. Have they been doing it for a while?
they have been, because what's his name found it. It's been that dude.
Oh yeah.
So, which
Yeah.
is actually a callback to Resident Evil 2, because there is a guy in Resident Evil 2 that you find in the jail who did all this. But he doesn't die from a zombie. He dies from the dude they based off Nemesis for that game. God, I can't think of his name.
Oh, Mr. X or whatever.
Yeah, the dude who literally follows you through the rest of the game.
Oh, great.
And you can't kill him.
Well, yeah, no.
He just walks around and finds you. But
Yeah,
all that's part of that too, and the semi crashing, all that's Resident Evil 2.
yeah. So I did notice that a lot of like scenes in this movie, especially certain scenes like when the semi goes to the police station or the zombie turning its head for the first time in the mansion.
Oh, you mean this
Uh,
one? Your favorite scene that you chose?
mm, I don't know why I'm pausing. I'm waiting for the Discord to catch up. But yeah. So
This one right here. It's playing right now. Look at that. Look at that. Ugh.
and then, yeah, and then he turns his head. That a callback right to the first game. That's the first time you see a zombie in the first Resident Evil game ever.
Yep.
That's what builds up the suspense. And you turn the corner and he kind of turns his head. Um, I actually had to go back because a lot of these characters, Jill, Chris, Claire, Leon, they're all well-known characters, right? Um, some of them I actually had to, excuse me, a couple of them I had to go back and actually go on to like IMDb and take a look, find their name, and go, okay, who is this guy? I mean, Vickers was easy. The helicopter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who ditches you guys in the first game. Um,
And this one, he dies.
yeah, I mean, in this one he dies. He dies in Resident Evil 3. I think he was the one in the original game. He was the one killed by Nemesis.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, especially with the remake and this movie and whatnot, he's always been killed by like a zombie by that point.
Well, in this one, the whole helicopter crashing is actually from Resident Evil 2 because in 2, the helicopter crashes into the police department.
Oh, does it now?
Yeah.
Well, this one actually crashed into the mansion, but yeah, Vickers was in this. That other guy that we saw in that clip with the zombie,
I think it's
he
Richard.
was. Yeah, he was like a member of, I think. Who was the first team to get sent in? Was that Bravo Squad or was it Alpha? No, I think it was Bravo.
It
I
was.
don't see, in the original game,
Chad Rook
they get,
played.
huh?
Chad Rook played Richard.
Oh. In the original game, uh, the first Stars team is sent in because there are uh, reports of people attacking other people in the woods. Right, they're being eaten alive, cannibalism and stuff like that. And so they send in, I want to say it was Bravo Squad, um, to deal with it, and they go in and they're the first wave of Stars. The Stars is what, Special Tactics and Rescue
Yes.
uh, specialist or something like that, which is really nice to see a separation because yes, they are, I believe, a part of the police department, but they're like, I guess you could say they're like SWAT.
Yeah.
SWAT is part of the police department, but they're their own identity. These guys are their own identity, but they're still part of the police department. So it's nice to see that because I think in the last couple of movies, the Alice movies, all the Stars members were just everyone was Stars. Everyone who was like a police officer was Stars.
Yeah.
Had like a whole like police station full of Stars members. It's like it kind of doesn't make them as elite as they're supposed to be. But they go in, the first team gets wiped out, and then the second team, which is Chris and Jill's team, go in, and that's where the first game comes in, where they're in. And this one was actually, they were going after two missing officers, which was Enrico and Dooley.
Yeah, they were
And
supposed to be the Bravo team.
yeah, Enrico was actually in the games. I think he was leader of Bravo team when they went in, because I think there's like supposed to be 6 members on each squad, um, but he was uh, leader of Bravo team in the game, and Dooley was actually like a character. I think he was just a pilot. he was originally like, I think they retconned him into the game because I think he was supposed to be like Bravo Squad pilot or something like that, and yeah, so he was very, very, very minor. Um, but yeah, so you get this whole thing going on. Wesker, I was not happy with Wesker.
But
We went through.
it's more resembles of what he was
Oh, I
in the
mean,
first game.
maybe attitude wise. I mean, I guess the Wesker from the Alice series is more reminiscent of Resident Evil 5 Wesker.
It is. It's that's the Wesker everybody knows and loves. Is that that's one who got put in Dead by Daylight.
Okay, okay,
That's what
you gotta have to repeat that. That kind of just went on my end.
the Wesker that you're talking from the Alice series is the one everybody knows and loves because of that. He's in
Yeah,
five.
because
He's in the newer ones. He's got the shades. He's all cool. But this is more reticent of the Wesker from Resident Evil 1. But when he was just a cop, he had no idea what he was doing. He wasn't infected yet. He was just being paid.
he still had sunglasses though.
Yeah,
I don't think he ever took glasses off.
but he was getting paid. He had the same attitude. But it doesn't matter about any of the Stars members because Donal Logue as Chief Irons.
Oh my goodness. I think
That was great.
I think he's become kind of one of my more favorite actors. I've seen him in um
Gotham.
he played Detective Bullock in Gotham, which is he just steals the show. I watch it because he was in Vikings. He's been in all sorts of stuff. He was in Sons of Anarchy. Um,
But
but
he does exactly that. He steals the
yeah,
show.
he's just kind of like he's just it's focal point. It's kind of fun. God, did he go out in like just the worst way, just off screen.
His head chopped off too, and it went rolling. But
Yeah, but
but the liquor in this one that killed him actually looked like a liquor.
yeah. You know, eventually, you're gonna have to if they keep doing these Resident Evil movies. You just can't rely on zombies and liquors the entire time, right? You can't do that. It's like having 7 Silent Hill movies where all they have are nurses and Pyramid Head. I mean, there's other creatures that can be involved. I mean, yeah, they got a crow in this.
Well, that none of those were in the first set. Like they were going strictly off the first 2 games.
There was crows in the first game.
They
There
didn't
was also
attack you.
yes, they did.
Yeah. The dogs
And
were more potent, and we got plenty of them.
I'm so tired of looking at dog zombies.
Ada Wong is actually in this movie too. In the deleted scene or not the deleted scene, in the after credit scene that we stopped the movie before we watched, Wesker is actually like brought into Umbrella, and that's when he gets infected, and they give him the sunglasses for his eyes because he can't see, and it's actually Ada Wong who does it.
Yeah, I saw her in the credit list, but I'm like, did I miss her?
No, you just
Yeah.
don't see her. But
Oh, and William Birkin, is his name, the scientist guy.
oh yes,
Oh God, he was just what was he doing?
what are you talking about?
I I don't know if I missed some like important subplots with him, but it was like one minute he's raising children in an orphanage, the next thing
He
he
was
finds out.
doing testing on the children. He was doing illegal testing on the children.
No, so he was a bad dude.
Yeah, so
Bad dude.
the you could get away. Nobody's gonna know about an adopted child or an orphan, so he would do the testing on the kids, and
Mm-hmm.
then when the sirens went off and he got the call, he went to go save his his life's work before he becomes like a bony tyrant.
Yeah, I mean he got shot towards the end of the film there, and I'm like, okay. And then he injects himself with that stuff, and he becomes this tyrant, and I don't remember what it is. I just know it comes from one of the earlier games. I think it might be like Resident Evil Zero, maybe. I don't know. Could be one of the later ones. But he's got like the big eyeball on the shoulder. He's actually he's actually like he's actually a skin in Dead by Daylight.
Mm.
It's funny, but yeah, they shoot him, and then they kill him, and then he comes back as some sort of thing, whatever that thing was. I don't even know what you would call it.
I don't know, but my favorite scene still had Chris in it. And before I show it, if anybody is prone to seizures or suffer from epilepsy,
I
you
know what
might
you're
want to
talking
turn off
about.
your screens.
I know what
Just
you're
saying,
talking
there's some
about.
flashing lights.
Lots of flashing lights and so on.
Look at them all.
Oh my goodness.
So, like, the overall quality of this movie was so much better than the other ones. And I think we mentioned it before, like, there's more blood in this one. And it actually, when, like, the people were getting eaten, like, when Richard and, was actually getting eaten, it
Mm-hmm.
it looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
Unlike the other ones where
Um.
they're just like,
Oh God, I'm being taken away. Zombies are crowding over me. It's dogpile.
or when
Uh.
Ben, the dude in the jail cell, got bit or eaten. Like they had enough coming out of him to make it look good. And I think that's what really sold it for me comparatively to all the other ones.
Yeah. I think that scene that you just showed with the everything being lit up by gunshots. Um, I think it was an interesting pick, um, on how they wanted to show that. My only problem with it was that I think it ran too long. I'm sitting there and I think about halfway through, I'm going, okay, my eyeballs are starting to hurt a little bit. Um, but like I said, is an interesting way of doing that. Jeremy, Jeremy, let's talk about that giant elephant in the room. You know what elephant we're talking about?
No. Elephant. I can't hear you. I think we lost Jason's audio. Now I can hear you.
Well, yeah, you can hear me, but it's not going to come in through very clearly. Oh, I got to flip my thing. Ah, have to find me a new cord or something.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. I would say that I could just talk through the laptop, but I went back and listened to the Spotify and it sounds horrendous. You can barely hear me, so I need to have my mic set up. So elephant in the room begins with an L ends with a Kennedy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yes, we're
He
talking
got
about
better towards the
Leon.
end. After the jail scene, he got better.
Yeah.
But it
I mean,
shouldn't have taken
I
that
guess
long.
it shouldn't really have taken that long. But I also think, the way when you this movie first, way back when it was out, the way you had talked about it was that, and you can look at him right there on that little picture. That if you took Claire right there and put her in a Jill outfit from like Resident Evil 3, you got Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's longer, shaggier, dark hair. Um, he's very reminiscent of like what Carlos would be in the game, but we like to harp on that a little bit. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I think they took the comic relief with him way too far, way too much. So yeah, I mean, I lay there in a diner and have a bottle that Wesker and then putting a bottle on his head while he's sleeping
Oh,
at
yeah.
a diner.
When he's, and then they make that bet. I bet I can knock that bottle up with with one shot. So Jill shot Wesker in the face with the little rubber bullet and threw the gun at him,
And hit him in the head.
knocking the bottle off.
God.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, what is this? What is this?
Oh, I didn't know the guy who played Chris was in Arrow. He plays Firestorm.
Yeah, he plays Firestorm. He's actually I think he's the brother to Steve, who actually plays Arrow. Actually
They look alike.
seeing some of the seeing some of the shots from the movie, he almost looks exactly like him. It's kind of interesting.
But, so, do you think this movie deserves a
What?
sequel?
I mean, they did kind of leave it kind of up in the air. I mean, especially when you're talking about an after credit scene with Wesker. Yeah, now you're looking at it going, "Oh, cool." So,
Uh,
I would prefer to see a sequel made out of this one instead of another Alice one.
So, in the beginning of the movie, when Jill asks them all at the diner what would be a worse death, swallowed by a giant snake or eaten by a great white shark, that's paying homage to the first game when there's a giant snake in a flooded lab with sharks. There's a giant snake and a flooded lab with sharks, both of which can kill you.
Oh yeah, Jeremy, I'll one up you.
I don't think you're one up in anything without the voice from your microphone.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I'll one up you. I'll one up you. Okay, here we go. There is a scene we were just talking about the diner scene where Jill hits Leon in the head with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
She picks up Wesker's sandwich, and Wesker's like, "Hey, that's my sandwich." She's like, "No, it's Jill's sandwich now, or it's a Jill sandwich now."
I remember
Is
you thought
referencing in the first game, yep, where if you're playing, I believe it's the Jill campaign, and I think there's a room where you get trapped in a room where the ceiling is coming down. It's gonna crush you, and I think Barry rescues you. He pulls you out or unlocks the door. I don't know. He does something. He rescues you, and he goes, "Wow, you almost became a Jill sandwich." As soon as she said this is a Jill sandwich, I just kind of went, "Oh my god. Is that the line that we're going to go with this what we're putting in this movie?"
Yes. But oh, that's cool. They actually got the blueprints from Capcom to rebuild the main halls for the Spencer Mansion and the Raccoon Police Department.
That's well, if you're going to do something, do it accurately, I say.
So they actually built the front of the mansion and the entrance to the mansion and all that, and the front of RPD like exactly to how the games were. Which again, I also like how the zombies started in this one. Slow, the disease coming in and taking over. Because if you notice, like all the people like trying to push into the police department, they were all alive. They weren't zombies yet. So it was cool to see it just slowly spread.
Yeah, you got to kind of see everything before it happens. Most of the time, it's already just like there happening. I don't. I think with the way things were going in this movie and how far, I guess it makes sense with Umbrella moving people out of town. Makes it feel like the town is more abandoned, I guess.
Yeah.
But when they're sitting there in the police station having their briefing about going out
Your internet's lagging.
and finding the two missing guys, two missing officers,
Yep.
it just felt very empty. Just it felt
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm hearing like what sounded like you put a fan next to your microphone. Last part I
what was
caught.
that?
I saw something with when your microphone sounded like wind. So you said you felt the town felt empty.
Yeah, it felt empty. And like I said, it just felt like they were there. They were like the only ones there. Like it would make more sense if you had them like in the office and had some more backgrounds, I guess, walking around kind of in the background. I mean, maybe that dude with the glasses.
That guy with the glass.
That
No,
dude
he's a
with the
reviewer on YouTube for Channel Awesome.
You talking about Wesker? You must be talking about Wesker. The Wesker from the older movies, not the new one, I suppose. Yeah, it just felt empty to me. A lot of I looked at the cast list and there's not a very like large cast list for this.
No.
So, yeah,
A lot
I think
of
that was the other problem was that
well,
for a whole town full of zombies, they didn't have a whole lot of living people there.
no, they didn't. Well, let's see what everybody else thought, Jason, of Resident Evil, the final chapter, and Welcome to Raccoon City. So, for anybody joining us that hasn't played our little game before, we like to play Guess the Rating. We do IMDb, which is a scale of 1 to 10. Then we do the tomato meter, or like we like to call the T-virus meter. And then we do the audience score on the Rotten Tomatoes. So, let's start. And I did forget to mention, we do play Price is Right rules, where you got to get lower without going over. You got to get closest without going over. Alrighty then. Jason. Resident Evil, the final chapter. You've already put in
3.6.
you already put in your IMDb. Why are you giving it a 3.6?
Because it was bad.
Well, what does everybody else think on a scale of 1 to 10? Let us hear what y'all think the people of the world think of the final chapter. And thank God it's the final chapter. Jason, I don't think I can take any more of Alice going, "My name is Alice, and I used to work for Umbrella."
I liked how I started that. The
Oh, yeah.
Welcome Raccoon City. I say, "My name is Alice. This isn't my story."
Yeah, because we got a lot of raccoon orphanage. Where we got little baby queers and little baby quiz.
You got when Claire shows up at Chris's house and puts on that football helmet. It had a raccoon on the side, and the first thing I thought of was, please tell me that their football team is called the Raccoon City Trash Pandas. But instead it was the Raccoon City Bandits. So.
Well, if anybody else wants to put in, we'll give y'all a minute or two to finish putting in any guesses. Is Little Freya if you want to play with us. But which one, Jason, was your favorite Resident Evil movie?
Oh, goodness.
And are you glad that the series is ending?
Well, according to Wikipedia, it looks like they might have some scouting locations and such for a sequel, maybe, possibly.
Oh, good.
So we may not be out. We may not be out of the woods yet. My favorite. I'm still gonna probably go with
Apocalypse.
No, no, probably Extinction. I think it was Extinction.
Well, everybody. PJ, you're like Jill, just dodging the helicopter. It was a 5.5 out of 10. PJ, you are closest.
Wow.
And now...
So cool.
I know, right? And now we do Welcome to Racoon City. Jason, you gave it a 4.5. PJ, what do you give Welcome to Racoon City on a scale of 1 to 10? Oh, are we doing that now, Jason? Hold on. Here, pull them off real quick. I got an idea. Are you ready? You got your camera up?
Yeah, my camera's up.
Ready?
Hold on. Wait. Oh, you. I can't see you on the. Okay, I can't. It's not gonna let me see you on the Discord. So I can't even do it in the appropriate time. Okay, just whoosh at me. Whoosh. Okay. Oh God, it's on my face. There we go. Boom.
Oh, there we go.
It's really hard to do it. Why? I don't know why your camera's not working on the Discord.
I mean, it's working. I'm clearly here.
I mean, yeah, I've been having to watch it on Twitch, and it's been very delayed. Well, I mean, it's gonna be delayed on Twitch, so.
All right. So PJ gave it a 6.4. Jason, you're giving it a 4.5.
4.5.
PJ, you're like.
There we go. I fixed it. How did I even disable the?
I don't know. But you're like Richard. You were and you got up them stairs and that one came up behind you and was just like, ah, and down you went. Dead. Jason, you were like Chris.
Well, that's good. Anyone never says anything about Chris, then unless it was, oh, you're like Chris, and Umbrella has captured you, never to be seen again. That would be bad.
It was a 5.2 out of 10. Somehow this
Cause
one
of
got
what?
somehow it got a lower rating on IMDb than the final chapter. I don't know how.
Maybe people were just tired of Resident Evil by this point. Because I think at this point we've had all the Alice movies. We've had this movie. We had that Netflix series.
Yeah.
You know, I think at this point people are just oversaturated in Resident Evil. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I like Silent Hill, but I don't need 7 movies, 2 TV shows. You know, at some point it's like now you're overdoing it.
Well, now we're on to Rotten Tomatoes. So Resident Evil, the final chapter, the virus Mita.
This is critics. I might go with it. That's my tomato meter
For both of them?
for both of them.
23 and a 30. All right, PJ, you went with a 47. You're like Ruby Rose, PJ. You were hanging on for dear life. I don't let go. Swamp. Quick, painless, didn't feel a thing.
A big industrial fan. She went out like Chucky in part 3.
Jason. I mean, you're Alice. You survived.
That is
just
so lame.
You're just kind of there.
I'm just there. Oh God.
It was a 38%.
38% for the final chapter.
And Welcome to Racoon City. PJ put a 49. Jason put a 30. PJ, you're like Chief Irons. You're walking through the orphanage after being shot at by umbrella people in your car. I know, I'm dead.
Chief Irons. Yep. Okay. We're just gonna call this one.
Jason,
Oh.
you're like Leon Kennedy.
Oh.
Tyrant came
that's a
in
good
through the
thing I
back
didn't.
and you shot him in the face with a rocket launcher because you found it in first class.
God, shut up.
You nailed it right on the head. It was a 30% on the tomato meter.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But now,
It's still rated lower than the other one, right?
yep, which is really weird. Critics didn't like this movie. Again, they're probably, like you said, just burnt out on Resident Evil. But now we're on to the audience score of the tomato meter.
Audience score. Ugh.
Jason gave it a 34 on the final chapter. PJ, what about you? 44. 40 on the Welcome to Racoon City.
Oh yeah, Jeremy, the final chapter, since we didn't talk about that whole much. How much do you think it costs to booby trap your air vents to just drop you wherever?
A lot.
Remember that? Like they were like right next to each other and the one dropped and he fell into this bottomless pit.
Oh,
And
yeah.
died. And then like Alice, who was like literally like kind of right next to him, just dropped into some sort of laboratory.
He literally fell into a pit of nothing.
Yeah, it was just bones and I guess other people who try to break in
Who tries
through
to...
the duct.
How many people went through the ducts to fall in there?
I don't know, but there's like some bones down there and a bunch of rocks. The guys just like, "Ah." And then
Anyways.
what happened? Alice fell down the next one and landed in some sort of laboratory. So, you know, magical game of shoots and ladders.
Jason,
Uh-oh.
you're like Vickers.
Please. Yes! Wait. He was playing a mean game of Snake now, okay? Just letting you know.
He didn't hear that zombie
And
come crashing through the thing.
that was because he was not in Letterkenny. I mean, the actor was, but not Vickers. Vickers himself was. Yeah, well, he just went back to Canada.
PJ, you're like Claire. Just trying to find your brother. And you found him. You go through a police station, shoot some stuff. Give Leon a vest and tell him to basically quit being a pansy. The audience score was 47%.
Oh. So I technically didn't overshoot. Okay.
No.
So did
And
the audience like this one? Audience like this one more?
we have Welcome to Racoon City for the audience score. Jason,
Oh, never mind.
you're like that first zombie with the semi.
Oh, again. Wait. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's a bit of a trick thing, Jeremy. That zombie, yes, did get hit by a giant semi-truck, but she got up and walked away. Okay? Does that make me a loser or a winner?
PJ,
Ignore me.
it makes you a loser, Jason.
All right, she got up and walked off.
PJ, you're like Wesker. You got shot, and even though we didn't see the ending scene, they drug you off and you're still alive. You're just now infected with the virus. Because the audience gave this one a 65%. Audience liked this one.
Well, yeah, they should. It harkens back to more of the actual Resident Evil material than the other ones did. So, you know, it'd be really a shame to be like, hey, look at this Resident Evil movie, and they're like, this has nothing to do with the games. We hate it. Well, look at this one. This one has stuff from the games. We hate it. So,
Yeah, that would suck.
oh no. Oh no.
But, so, that is all the time we have for today. We hope you've enjoyed our trip through Raccoon City, Las Vegas, Canada, Washington,
Tokyo.
D.C., Tokyo,
Russia,
New York. I mean, we've been everywhere with this little journey. And
Raccoon City.
We've seen a lot of Alice. And
Thank God I didn't miss her in this one.
I'm glad it's over. I don't know if I could have handled it anymore. But next week is Valentine's Day.
The next episode is on Valentine's.
Unfortunately, it won't be.
What?
I have to work.
Oh, you! And I even picked this movie specifically for the day. You.
But actually, give me a second. I can tell you here in a second.
Oh, we could get back to it later.
Techno.
I'm looking at my calendar right now, and I ain't got nothing planned. Well, except work, but you know.
If you want to do it the day before, we can. On that Tuesday.
We could talk about it, but that's probably going to be a no-go. Most def no-go.
Then Thursday.
If we have to, well, yeah, if we have to, we can push it back to Thursday.
We'll do it right around Valentine's Day. I might be able to get off work a little soon to get over here, and we can start a little later. But we'll either do it next Wednesday or Thursday. But Jason did pick his solo movie.
Yeah.
So we
Be prepared.
We will see you all next week. Same time, same campfire. I changed it too quick.
Uh-oh.
We hope all of y'all have a safe night.
All right. Laters, y'all. We love you.
Go to our Facebook. Like our Facebook.
Yes. Yes. Facebook.
He loves me.
Spend this Valentine's Day
He loves me not.
with someone you love,
He loves me.
someone you trust,
He loves me not.
and someone you know
He loves me.
won't try to kill you.
Will you dance with me? Dance with me? Dance with me? Dance with me?
Remember the kid everybody ignored on Valentine's Day?
Loser.
Well, he remembers you.
God, we were so horrible to that kid.
What do you think happened to him?